The alley that shows the blue signboards towards Hawa Mahal. As you make your way to the Hawa Mahal, let me tell you a little bit about the king who built it and how it came into being. The Hawa Mahal was built by Savai Pratap Singh. Savai Pratap Singh was the head of the martial Kachawa clan that ruled the kingdom of Amer in Jaipur. He was one of the gifted child prodigies of the lineage. He inherited the throne at the tender age of 12. He was trained extensively in martial arts and consciously maintained his weight, unlike his father and predecessors who were not as fit. His father, Savai Madho Singh, weighed around 500 pounds. Besides being strongly built, trained combatant, Maharaja Savai Pratap Singh had impeccably refined taste in the field of arts. He enjoyed poetry and literature. He wrote the Kavi Basi, a compilation of works of different poets. Buy your tickets from the ticket counter and move towards Anandpoli, the entrance to the Hawa Mahal. Take a few steps back and observe this pretty entrance. Humans have a way of adding character and personality to little things by naming them. This entrance, for example, got its name from the idea of joy. Anandpoli means gateway of joy. The gateway is a multi-level structure inspired by the Mughals. Look up above these pillars and you'll see beautiful jalis with small wooden windows. These were for women to get a distant view of the entrance. You're now at the simple gate of Ujas Mandir. At the center of the arch is an orange motif of Lord Ganesha, the god of auspicious beginnings. As you enter, you'll notice an open-air courtyard. This is Ujas Mandir, or Temple of Light. It hosted the knights who guarded the temple. You're standing in front of the Chandrapol, the gateway of the moon. Notice the sculpted arch and its distinct and dainty features. Look closely at the white arch to see why it got its name. The Sharad Mandir. From the main courtyard and walk towards the hall directly opposite Chandrapol. You might notice a narrow passage between Pratap Mandir and Sharad Mandir. This passage gave the king personalized access to the inner quarters of the queens and concubines. The first thing that you will notice are the beautiful green frescoes on its doors. Walk into this chamber through these attractive doors. The chamber gets its name from its purpose. Sharad is the word for the winter season. This is the winter dwelling of the palace. Do notice the beautiful tinted glass windows that add light. To the left, from the Chandrapol, is the dining hall or the Bhojan Shala. Bhojan is a term used for meals. This is where all the members of the household and guests would be served their meals. Take a few steps back from the entrance and look at the hall. Notice that on one end of the hall is a beautiful candy-colored glasswork window, reflecting sunlight mischievously. On the other end of the hall, closer to the ramp, are ornate, white lattice windows. Walk in through the thin Persian double-pillared arches. This was probably where the king sat and dined. Next to the ramp on the first floor is the entrance to the Ratan Mandir, or the Hall of Jewels. From the ramp, you first enter a chandni similar to what you saw on the second floor. The chandni is a walled balcony with an open roof. It is more spacious because we are now on the lower floors of the building. If you look up to your left, you will see a more imposing element of the sandstone crown. Below this crown is a gate. Make your way through into a hall which is no less than a chamber of jewels. It is lit up from both sides with pretty stained glass windows. On your right are arched windows of the facade. The walls in the middle are adorned with convex mirrors in geometrical patterns, adding spark to the temples of jewels. On your left are doorways with more stained glass arches that lead into the terraces. Walk around this hall and notice playful patterns of light on the floors and walls. On the other end of the hall is yet another replica of the Chandni we just saw. Walk into the Chandni. Look around the Kangora walls. You will notice a door directly opposite. Walk around and explore the section at your own pace. There are two main courtyards on the ground level of the Queen's section of this palace. Both these courtyards only have access from the King's chamber, Pratap Mandir. Both the courtyards, you will realize, are connected to one long passage. One end of the passage takes us to the exit. This would have been the private entry and exit for the queens. The other end of the passage takes us to an alley that opens up between Pratap Mandir and Sharad Mandir. We will not exit just yet. Let's explore the two courtyards in this section. Take this passage and visit the court with the ancient coral flower fountain. Walk through the open-air courtyards. Each courtyard has chambers surrounding it. The verandas have same Persian double pillars. With their grey tiles and subtle features, these courtyards feel cooler than the rest of the palace. This palace has a special chamber with 3 grand doors. The doors are decorated with glamorous fresco paintings. The paintings have a very modern color scheme. Hints of golden on brown and flowers with pastel and primary colors. These doors add a lot of character to the coralline look of this court. The king had moonlit private meetings with his ladies here. Clearly, the king had exclusive access to this section of the house. But the women always were involved in doing much more than just pleasing their king. It's interesting how the wives of the kings got to keep their own surnames. The natal clans were always close and important to the woman who even after her marriage was known by her clan name. Rajput women were brought up in a manner where they would always think and act to save and protect the honor of their clan. To uphold their family honor, these queens followed the Rajput system of Parda and Sati. They were responsible for the promotion and sustainability of the cultures and rituals of their clans, along with those in alliance. This circle of preservation not only ensured that there was no loss of heritage, but further became a catalyst for fusion and expansion. The ramp on the 3rd floor opens into a passageway that leads to a chamber quite opposite in character to the Vichitra Mandir. Here you will be hit by refreshing natural sunlight. This is called the Prakash Mandir, or the Temple of Brightness. Take the narrow stairwell from Prakash Mandir to go to Hawa Mandir, the Temple of Breeze. The staircase is so narrow that people take turns going up and down. There may even be a guard sitting there telling you when it's your turn to use the staircase.
Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.